So tomorrow is Suntare's uncle's retirement party. He's head of the village, but he's reached the age of 60 and they're obliged to retire at that point, and a new head is elected. So tomorrow there's a retirement party situated in the school, which is just in the background to where we are now, and this is his house, and some of the lads from the village are preparing the pork. Fresh pork. Obviously I didn't show you it being slaughtered, but I did see it in a photograph just before I arrived here in this cage. You can see there's plenty of red stuff lying around. And Copkin Cup. It's very kind, just been offered a shang. Yeah, so what they're doing now is they're removing all the hair by pouring boiling water on it and then scraping it clean. And as you can see, it's a sow. Not that that makes any difference, I suppose. I have to say that it makes me a little bit sad to know that this animal was alive 15 minutes ago. And a beautiful pig as well, as far as pigs have beauty. But this is the reality of life, really, and were it not for Western abattoirs and the skills and efforts of the butchers in there and the packers in the factories, we would probably not be doing anything dissimilar to this in our Western towns. It does make me think I want to become a vegetarian when I see this going on. There's quite a few people here now. Apparently this pig was slaughtered whilst it was still in the cage, understandably, because if they had tried to get it out it would have been strong enough to run away. And the way that they slaughtered it was to stick a knife into its side, and the wound is visible, but it's lying on that wound at the moment. The guy who's actually stripping the hair off is Gan, who's one of our builders. He's a master of everything here. Some would say a master of none and a jack of all trades, but whatever he does, he's pretty bloody good, actually. Right, now you can see the wound in the side here. It's got some greenery sticking out of it now, which I presume was put there to keep the wound open for bleeding. Time for the slaughterer to have a beer. That's our other builder who's in the blue shirt there. So that's the uncle there with the hat on.
ใส่มันก็มีสายน้ำก็อย่างหรอกยัด
เอา
ใส่
ไปใส่สมอง
บอกให้มันรถไปเก็บ
So really are getting all the hairs off it.
มันไปบ่ได้หรอกมันเลียนหัวสังคม
Even the eyelids have been shaved.
มันเห็นเบียร์ตั้งอยู่เป็นลังบ่ได้
ไปเอาผ่านเถอะ
เอามาแล้วเรียบร้อย
เอาไปตามมาที่หลังหมู
This is a farm bred pig, so it's treated differently to the wild pigs that are in the national park around here. If someone manages to catch a national park pig, a wild boar, they are very, very hairy. They've got very long, coarse hair, and they remove that hair with fire, basically. They have charcoal, and they have like handfuls of reeds which they light and then basically stroke the skin and get the hair off like that, singe it off. And I know that because that's what we had when we had our housewarming 2 years ago, our house blessing. We had a wild boar from the forest that was caught just the day before the event. Right, what they do now is they've got a couple of bags of salt and they're rubbing that into the skin. One of the bags is down there. So this salt isn't so they can cook it crispy or anything like that. It's actually to clean it. They're cleaning the skin because it's fresh off the farm. And they do want to use the skin for cooking. Right, well I had to nip off to the shop to get myself some mosquito spray. As you can see, things are moving along. They got the feet off, got the head off. Got the internal organs already cooking with some lemongrass. One thing I find fascinating about this is the fact that the inside of the animal, once the internal organs are removed, it's actually very clean. And the internal organs of any body are very sort of separate from the carcass. That's the bulk of them there. Yeah, this is going to put a whole new perspective on my pork Sunday roast. As usual, they're doing this barefooted, so if there's a slip of that knife, as you will probably appreciate, nothing is wasted
วางใจกันตัวข้าวมันอยู่คนเดียว
Nothing at all is wasted in an Isan village.
ใส่มันก็สิได้ยกไปเฮ็ดโรงเรียนพุ่น
So,
มีพื้นมีไฟ
what is actually cooking at the moment are the lungs,
กินลาบไปกินของ
and every single bit of internal organ will be cooked and used and eaten tomorrow.
เฮ็ดงานก็บ่ถึง3
Something that we in the West are
เอ
totally
อ
not used to at all. I think probably the only internal organ that we will consider eating is the liver.
ผู้ใดสิไปก่อนก็ไปก่อน
Possibly you might find in real butchers' hearts, but that's about it, isn't it? Yeah, we're very protected
คือเอามาหน่อย
from real life, quite frankly, with all our pre-packaged meat cut up into
ขนมคือหลาย
nice looking slices for us. Not getting involved at all in the animal welfare or slaughter side of things.
ทุกคนบ่ยันแล้วดูบอกเงินเปล่ามามันก็บ่รู้
ก็งับเอาไว้เก่าแล้ว
เพิ่นว่ามีน้ำประปาทุกเฮ็ดไง
And this what's going on here is something that
ม
Suntory
องเพิ่นแล่สัตว์
observes and gets involved in with her job,
เบิ่งเขาหามนิด
because she actually gets organs from pigs from the abattoirs, and then she repairs them and prepares them ready for medical training and equipment testing. So when she's away,
แต่ก่อนกับ
out of 3 or 4 days work that she does, one of them will be in the abattoir.
Nhiều yang người cho đi. Đây đi ba.
So they've cut up some of the meat and they're eating it raw with salt and chilli. That's not for me, I can tell you. Knowing what's recently happened in our kitchen with raw meat, sort of generally put off anything other than very, very well cooked chicken.
เจียวมีสมิธ
อันนี้ต่างชาติอยู่น้ำซื่อๆเด้อนี่ปกตินี่มันแลนอยู่แลนกินเลยคนไทย
But there is often a
Mr. Mike
case of
ไม่ใช่ให้มันชัด
Mayao Cap.
ๆมันไม่ให้เจ้ากิน
He's
เลย
trying
ตัว
to
มาทายให้มันคัก
he's trying to get me to try it. There's no way.
ๆไม่กินดอกไปจ้ะ
Yeah, there's often people with worms and things in Thailand, and they have to take worming medicines that you normally would reserve for your cattle or your dogs, ivermectin and that sort of thing. And this is the reason why, because they like their raw meats. They do a lot of raw beef eating as well. Now this guy down here, he's in charge of cleaning the guts, and he's got bits of bowel and all sorts here, I think. And they will cook them after they've been cleaned, and what he does is he basically threads them onto a hose pipe and washes the damn things out, so you can see what's coming out. Yes, that is what you think it is. That's what's inside you and I at this very moment. And what's it called when we have ourselves cleaned out? An enema, isn't it?
โอ้ยมาจิต
Right, he's basically in charge of giving the poor pig an enema.
มันดื้อหลายมันแล่นยอดเจ้าของเองก็แล่นเดียวบัดนี้ก็ล้มตัวบัดนี้
ข้าว
I think you'd need a jet wash to get me cleaned out at the moment, I have to say.
บัดนี้อ้าว
That was very, very easy.
ย่างบ่ได้อยู่
จะกินก็พอเย็นท้องตับหวาน
เอากินดีเลย
ถ้ามึงกินดีที่เดียวเลยตับเนี่ยก็ได้
เป็น3เที่ยล่ะ
ไอ้ตับดีเนี่ย
เป็นแค่ขาหน้ามัน
So yeah, that's what they do. They basically clean everything up and everything gets cooked.
ตับนี้เราช่วยตับนี้ไปกิน
Oh, I don't know what they're barbecuing here exactly.
หมูแต่ว่าหวานหวานกว่าหมูเฮาอีกหวานหวาน
That's stomach.
yes
They're going to eat that now.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the stomach. That's being barbecued. T-Rack, where's the heart? Oh, it's fit to be washed. So the heart's in there somewhere.
เฮ้ยไปย่ำเขาแล้วจะค่อยบอกเลขกูเลขมา
Yeah,
เป็น
so
นิสัย
the workers are getting rewarded with some raw meat
ไปพุ่นละไปพุ่นละ
for their dinner and a barbecued stomach.
ช่วยเขาไปเฮ็ดไว้
And maybe some of this other stuff that's getting cooked, I don't know whether that's going to be shared out tonight. There's quite a few people here, so
โอ้น้ำปวด
it's quite possible. Got
สมัยเก่าลูก
quite a number in attendance. And the little kids being introduced
เฮ้ย
to
แม่มันก็อยากมาน้ำละ
the traditions of slaughtering and cooking.
ได้โอกาสเลยแต่มันบ่ตายเลยล่ะงาม
You T-Rack, you're supposed to be off work. T-Rack, you're supposed to be not working now. You're supposed to be resting, not doing that.
มันเลี้ยวง่ายล่ะ
It's like a busman's holiday for her. She's been away 2 months doing this. Now she's come home and she's doing it again.
แม่ไปทิ้งหายบ่ทิ้งมันก็หายไปเลยเด้อทิ้งเอาเขาอย่างหมูกระทะงอยไว้ไปนั่งหา
มีคน
เขา
เขา
บ่วงค่ะหมูกระทะมันในแรงเขาบ่วง
มีคนเขาปลากระดงบ่ฮึ
Yeah, it's fascinating this really because it's just like a village event. Obviously we haven't got many from the village here. We've got a fair number though of
มีอยู่เห็นบ่ตื่นเป็น
people that are well known to Trey's uncle and join in with some aspect of it.
วิทยุฟังบอกอะไรซ่าเอาตะโกนว่าคนม่วงเตามันมาคู่กัน2โตเนาะว่าออกสายนี่แหละ
You compare this to a sort of barbecue event in the Western world, and a couple will go to the supermarket, buy some meat, chuck it on a barbecue, and then everybody turns up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with their bottles of wine and eats what's already cooked.
พอไปหอดฝุ่นแน่นว่า2โตมันในปลามันอาจกินอะไรต้นม่วงมันสิมาคู่กันโอ้ยบัด
เงียบหมดเลยเงี้ยวอยู่สวนชาติเงี้ยวเลยแต่โดม
Copkin Cup. Chop D everyone, down the hatch.
นิ่มแล้ว
มีแอมแลได้สุดยอดเลยธรรมดาบ่ธรรมดาเด้ผิกเกลือ
So we've now moved to the school canteen for some more prep. Let's go and have a look at what they're doing over there. Basically all the large cuts of meat are now going to be reduced to much smaller sizes, ready for cooking tomorrow. So it's all hands to the knives really. Something I don't understand is the complete lack of flies, because we've just got loads at home, even after we've sorted out our fridge problem. Outside, we only have to walk outside with a drink and we're just surrounded by flies. And yet here we are, we've got fresh meat that's been open to the elements for a good hour and a half now, and there's not a single fly hanging around. It's most peculiar. I don't know if it's because it's so fresh. And any other food that we have is not as fresh, and therefore is starting to give off an odour. I just don't know, but strange. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. We'll let them crack on with their preparation. And yeah, hope you stay to the end of this video. Bit of a difficult one for some people, I'm sure.